Let me lay it on the line. I got a little freakiness inside, and you know that the man has got to deal with it. I don't care what they say. I'm not about to pay nobody's way, 'cause it's all about the dog in me. Mm-hmm.
I want a freak in the morning, freak in the evening, just like me. Want a roughneck nigga that can satisfy me, just for me. And if you are that kind of man, 'cause I'm that kind of doll. If I got a freaky secret and everybody sing, 'cause everybody give about a thing. 'Cause I'ma be a freak until the day, until the dawn. And we go woo woo until the night to the early morn. Whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha whoa ha ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha whoa ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha ha
Whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha 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 ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha, whoa ha, whoa ha.
Whoa ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha 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 whoa ha whoa ha ha whoa ha ha whoa ha ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha whoa ha 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 whoa ha ha
Whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha whoa ha, whoa ha ha ha, whoa ha ha ha, oh whoa ha ha ha, and whoa ha ha, oh whoa ha ha, whoa ha ha. Yes, spring 2024 in on a sexual note.
Yes. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Middle Earth. This is Jaden XD.
Ooh, talk about it. Middle Earth is right,
yes. Nigga. Yes. Back from Fraggle Rock. We're back. Happy 2024.
Yes, welcome back to the 10th year you've been with Jaden XD.
Yes.
Wow.
10 years.
Now, we haven't officially hit our anniversary, so don't start cheering too loud just yet.
Yeah. Keep that noise down.
It's our 10 year, though.
But in April, you can.
Yeah. In April. On XD's birthday. You can say happy birthday to Jaden XD and XD.
Yes. It's a real inward holiday.
Yeah.
Hopefully you all had a fantabulous break. I know I did not, but well, it's not that it was bad. It wasn't
long enough.
It wasn't no, it was too long. I actually went back to work earlier.
Okay. Oh.
Because I had other things to do. But I it was. I am rested. I will say that. I did get some rest. Got to see my mom and my family members, my cousins and stuff. It was a wonderful time, and started new fitness. New year, new me. That kind of
I
thing.
know. Yes. Same.
But it's more so not like. My goal wasn't to get in the gym. My goal was to be the best XD I can be.
Yes.
That was my goal. And a part of that is being healthy. Mm-hmm. And a part of being healthy is moving. Not necessarily being a gym person, whatever, but a part of that is moving, which is something I don't necessarily do, but that I should. So, that's what I've been doing. I got a trainer and stuff.
Oh, come on,
just
trainer.
so I could have... Yeah, I mean, C-Raj could have one. Why can't I?
Oh, that's right.
But we do some work and it's a good time. But how was your break?
It was good. It was I could have used another week, but it's all good. Went on the cruise. Cruise was good. really surprised that I had such a good time. But we did have a good time. But cruise people are weird. They're like cruise people, like people who like, oh no, I cruise all the time. I'm getting ready to go on another cruise right after this cruise. I don't know, something about choosing that as your modality of vacation, like back to back to back to back.
That's like people who go to Sandals all the time, or who have like loyalty programs, like like people go to Disneyland often.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Maybe I don't understand doing things back to back to back to back. Unless it's like, I don't know, I like a hike. But I like to switch my vacations up. Give me different ones. I will go on another cruise, absolutely. Only this particular one. I will not be doing any carnivals. I will not be doing any Royal Caribbeans. I will not be doing any fucking, what is that other shit that Norwegian. I heard that's nice, but I don't want nothing that has a buffet. You know what I'm saying? No, keep me out of that. It's not my business. But yeah, we had a good time. The break was good, and then came back, had some family time. Noah was sick. She had the RSV all holiday season. So we didn't get to do anything. Like, she didn't get to really enjoy it until she had like 3 days left. So poor baby, yeah, she was just under the weather. But we stayed in the house, and it was nice, intimate time, and restful. We had days where we just laid on the couch and watched shit, which is rare. And yeah, it was good. I had a good break. Everybody loved their pajamas when they opened them. They were like, "Where the fuck did you get these?" Don't mind your business, okay, and just put them on.
Yes, because the folks been asking for a link.
Oh, okay. Let me find it. I'll find it and post it somewhere.
Yeah.
I also don't want to endorse these white. Endorse these. These niggas not paying me.
Fair enough. I will say I disconnected completely. Like I didn't watch. I watched Survivor obviously because that's just my zhuzh, but I didn't watch any Love After Lockup.
No.
Like, do you want to know what I watched? Like, legit. I watched. Yes, I'm a wrestling fan, but I legit watch old like wrestling tapes from like the 70s and stuff. That's how far removed I was from this whole thing, because it's interesting to watch history and to see how people respond. It's also interesting is like when you're putting together a live show, like how audience responds to things. And they like I have just been watching like old wrestling because I don't have to think, right? It's not something that I don't have to like absorb and do for work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I don't have to. And most of these niggas are dead, so I don't have to
Goddamn.
like, yeah. They were in their 50s wrestling in the 80s.
No, you're right.
There's no way they're alive, So
they might be in their 90s.
Wrestling, most of them were on drugs. They barely made it past 65.
And that CTE, I can imagine.
Exactly. But I had just been far removed from anything sharp entertainment and
I watched my cult shit,
whatever.
Obviously. Talked about that a little bit.
Let that go.
Oh no, that's my shit. That's my shit. I'd watch that whether we talk about it or not. So Daughters of the Cult. I started a new one actually just last night called hold on. Okay, Paramount. This is a very dramatic intro to get on this fucking app.
Oh, with the stars.
Like, nigga, just let me click into the shit. Yeah. Born in Synanon. That's the one I'm watching now on Paramount Plus. So I watched that. We rewatched Abbott Elementary. Rewatched some old stand-ups. Just like, I think we got into some Modern Family. Like, just kept it real. Like, whatever the fuck.
Yeah, really.
Oh my God. But, I got into some Noah TV over the holiday. I going back and like looking at Family Matters as an adult, I think we've all come to the conclusion that it aged poorly. Like, let me not say it aged poorly. It wasn't a good show. And somebody's going to be upset. And listen, check your nostalgia, okay? I'm a nostalgic ass nigga. But Family Matters was not really a great show. We watched it. We got nostalgic feelings about it. It wasn't a good show. Fresh Prince, great show. Family Matters, not great show. But anyway, so whatever. Noah is watching this show on Netflix. I see it in passing. I think I've mentioned it to you, but I don't think I actually like sat down and watched a couple episodes until this break. The Family Reunion on Netflix.
Oh yes, with Tia and Loretta Devine.
I love Loretta Devine.
Yeah, but she can't carry that show like.
That show is motherfucking awful. It is terrible. And then
it was on for like 5-6 seasons. Oh,
it's like off now?
It ended because of the Netflix doesn't do long seasons of things or whatever.
No.
But yeah, it was a successful show. It was on for a minute.
The kids love it. So I was like, oh, this is terrible. I don't want to yuck her yum, but goddamn, this show is terrible. Then, I hated the fact that they had this pale ass girl in there named Jade with that awful, like, she had put her in that bad wig sometimes, and I'd just be upset about it. So Shanti comes over, Around the Way Curl Shanti, Sable Collective Shanti, because they were doing a photo shoot and we had JoJo with us for the day. So JoJo's spending the day with us, and so Shanti comes later. I cook dinner. She comes to come pick her up so they can drive back. And I was like, stay, eat dinner before you get on the road. So we're all sitting on the couch. It's me, Tristan, Noah, Shanti, and JoJo. And they're watching Family Reunion. And Shanti says, have you watched this show? I said, I just watched it over this break. And she goes, it's terrible. I said, I know.
Yeah, it's bad. It's up there with Tyler Perry.
Yeah, and then they got that Tyler Perry play ass set. Like, it's not even a Tyler Perry movie. It's the plays.
Yeah. It's bad.
But I think a lot of those kids, for that kids of a certain age group, like when they get out of the Nick Jr. and like Sesame Street age, it's just like a weird TV time. I think we all had it. Like I'm sure my father walked by not Family Matters. What's the other one with the white people?
Full House.
Yeah, I'm sure he walked by that and was like, this is terrible. Like, I'm sure of it. I feel like he's made mention that all of these shows were terrible when we were watching them. So it's just a cycle. I think they just like bad TV at this time.
They do.
But then there's some good shit too. Casey Undercover was a good show.
Yeah, but I feel like what Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they respond to a different type of stimuli than we do.
Because they're not real.
And they're all like AI type like people. So like it makes sense for them to respond to like the jokes don't land, and I hate when shows tell you to laugh.
You hate a laugh track. You hate a laugh.
I don't mind laugh tracks I don't mind sweetening a show if it's
funny.
If you can do it right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is why I hate the reboot of Frasier, because if you're the laughing track is way too loud. That means you're telling me to laugh.
True.
Back in the days, they were a little bit more subdued. Even when you think of like Martin and stuff, like they were the laughs were obnoxious because the jokes were obnoxious, but with the small nuanced comedy that he would put, it was quiet laughter, which is what it's supposed to be. Nowadays it's like it wasn't that fucking funny. It's Family Reunion on Netflix. What studio audience are y'all filming in front of?
I don't think they really are. Do they even film in front of studio audiences anymore?
No, they film. Some people do. I know the Frasier reboot did, but but a Netflix, a streamer in front of a Netflix studio audience, like that's weird. But
I couldn't be a part of
Netflix
nobody's
is on
studio
ice.
audience either, because I would laugh at inappropriate time. I'd be laughing at stuff that they don't mean to be funny. Oh my God. Okay. Before we get
Netflix
into
gotta stop paying transphobes. Like, you know what I mean?
I watched this series on Hulu called Black Cake. Yeah, duh, because it's Black Cake. That was good if you can get past the accents. But I went to the screening of The Book of Clarence with Lakeith Stanfield and Tiana Taylor. Alfred Woodard is in it.
There's a shining light.
The nigga from
neck of
BMF.
darkness.
For whoever watched BMF, it was the nigga from BMF. You know which one I'm talking about. And a lot of other black people. And the whites because they couldn't have the black people play the Romans. I left that movie feeling. I just want to know why I leave every Lakeith Stanfield movie feeling confused.
Well, because he's not that talented.
The talent has nothing to do with it. It's the movies.
Well, whoever wrote it, whoever writes for whatever roles he picked, they're not that talented.
I get the artsy scene. I know niggas want to be different. I get it. I understand.
No, that's stupid. No, we have to humble people in 2024.
But when I left, sorry to bother you.
Ooh, we should have let him know then. Let them know then.
I said, there are starving children in this world, and y'all made this movie. Mm-hmm. And then I watched the Book of Clarence. Now, I didn't leave the Book of Clarence. Like, when I left They Clone Tyrone, I said, okay, I've got to watch that again. Like, I got to get into this again. This was good. When I left the Book of Clarence, I was like, I need to watch this again because I fell asleep at a couple parts. And I need to understand what I watched. Like, I need to... Oh, and the church girlies are not going to be happy about it. The church girlies are going to spawn a nuke over the fucking Book of Clarence. They are about to have a fit. It's going to be sacrilege talk all over the internet. I'm warning you now.
That's what they try to do with, and I was joking about Lakeith not being talented. He's talented. I just happen to throw up on his shoes, and that's okay.
I completely forgot about that. I should have said that at the theater when he showed up. My friend threw up on your shoes.
Wow. Now you're trying to spook me, friend. See, it's always straight. It's outing you.
Oh, God didn't let me remember it, so you're fine. But continue.
What was I about to tell you? What was I about to say?
You were about to say, oh, it's not that he's not talented.
Yeah, it's just that I threw up on his shoes.
Oh, the sacrilege talk.
Oh, yes, right. So you see that Lil Nas homosexual. He has a new album coming out.
Oh, does he?
And he's doing a lot more like Jesus iconography, that type of Christian shock jock thing or whatever. You know, it's when people do like, and not just him, but like when people do like religious like shocking things or whatever, it's like that would have made sense in the 90s where people believed. Like because of the internet, the advent of the internet, and people are becoming a lot more conscious, whatever you want to take that word as it is. It's like people are divesting from religion. And it's like, well, why the fuck? And so people aren't like that pressed about like that type of like shocking behavior. Of course, there's always going to be the faction of, you know, my God, my savior or whatever. And cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But I just also think Like when you try to market to a younger generation, the young people don't go to church. So
Especially
what
these young
connection
people.
do they exactly? So what kind of connection would they have to make this is shocking or I should feel offended by this? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like I can't be afraid of something if I don't know I'm supposed to be afraid of it.
Well, I think even though the
Cuz like
tradition of church going and religion itself is, I feel like people are getting more intentional with their spirituality and what that looks like for them. So there is a faction of people who do go to church, right?
yeah.
Black people, there's always going to be a portion. There's always going to be a percentage that going to go to church. I think these young people are affected by a lot of the dinosaurs in power who still use religion as a weapon in many ways. So they still feel the effects of the negativity of religion and what it has done either to their parents or it might be still being done to them, right? Because you still got trans kids who are the largest percentage of homeless children who don't have the resources they need. And I don't know if I'm going off into left field right now, but I don't know if that's answering the question. I just feel like
There are always going to be some people who believe.
there's always going to be some people who believe, and then there's always going to be people who challenge that. And maybe that's just the way that it is.
Yeah. Well, let's pay some bills because we have a lot of shit to cover
so much
this week.
Yeah.
So tell a friend that we're back. Guess who's back? Jada Nexty's back again. Tell a friend. Guess who's back?
in the
Guess
house.
who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Near.
Oh, the Eminem fans. Okay, continue. Sorry.
Yes, we're back. Available on all streaming platforms. So, drop a link to us in your group chats, your teams, your Slacks, try to put
not.
Yeah. Well, no. Listen, don't get yourself fired now, but expose us to other folks, right? You don't have to gatekeep us anymore. Love us out loud. Subscribe to us. Jada and I do want to say that as of right now, the price of our Patreon is $9.99, but it will go up.
Yes.
By $2.
Yes. Because niggas be working.
We work. We provide consistent content. Like for the whole break where we were off, we had every week there was a video on Patreon. So if you're not subscribed to Patreon, go subscribe now. It's $9.99.
Because they don't be 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You get content, honey.
It's no less than an hour each video.
The pre-show this week is a show.
It is. And we're proud of the work that we do. So, support us and we'll, when you're good to mama, mama's good to you. So, with that being said, also subscribe to us on YouTube. It's free $99. Even if you're subscribed to us on Patreon, subscribe to us on YouTube because it's free. It's you check your Gmail every day. You could at least just click subscribe. It's super easy. Check out all those videos that are there. Go on our socials, run up those likes because, the algorithm is horrible on every social media platform.
Oh, child, and mine has been terrible because let me tell you something. Your girl's been, I'm trying to do my part in spreading the information on what is happening in Gaza and the Congo and Sudan and all of the places without, yes, I'm trying to do my part in that. And they be like, we don't like this. We're not going to show it to many people at all.
Shadow ban. I feel like that has been happening a lot. There's people who I follow on Gram. I haven't seen them in weeks. I don't know when. Only reason why I knew Chris Rogers was posting that fitness stuff is because I was editing. Yeah, I took the pictures. Otherwise, I wouldn't see it. Like, I don't. Only things that show up on my Instagram feed are like random gay niggas and like cooking stuff because I watch a lot of food stuff. But that's it. I'm just like, I have no idea who these people are, even though that brownie recipe looks delicious. But I still don't know who the fuck this is, you know?
Yeah, I follow. So I think I just get like food and I get food and then a lot of like Palestine news right now. I think that's what my feed mostly is.
Yeah. But yes, follow us. Go search our names and go to our accounts and watch the clips and stuff and all that.
Can I also say something before we go into the next segment? Listen, you know, I've spoken to a couple people I know. Most of the people I know are right here with it. You know what I'm saying? They're down with the cause. They're not down with the oppression and the genocide of an entire people. Then there's a couple niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I've been this nigga before with certain things where it's like, well, what the fuck? Why the fuck do I need to speak on anything? Or why the fuck do I need to be interested in this? Because they not interested in niggas, right? And I've had those thoughts about other instances, but in this particular case, I want you. The reason why I'm going so hard with standing with Palestine and the Congo and Sudan and Tigray and everywhere that oppression is happening right now is because of the babies and the children. The babies and the children don't deserve what is happening. This shit is atrocious. It's awful. It's wicked. It's violent. It's nasty fucking work. Do you hear me? And if they came... think about your regular ass neighborhoods. If they came to Brooklyn and came to Flatbush, if they came to fucking LA and went down to Slauson, if they are in the middle of Flint, Michigan, if they go down to 3rd Ward in Houston, or like think about all of the neighborhoods that we know and love and somebody coming off of the strength of the politics of where we live and blowing up and bombing these neighborhoods where we just trying to go to work every day and live our lives. Think about that when you have those kind of thoughts. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying everybody got to be a political activist. I'm not saying everybody got to be Martin Luther King, because half you niggas think you are and you're absolutely not. Jonathan Majors, shut the fuck up. But nobody's saying you got to be all that. But just make sure that you have some sympathy in your hearts for these babies and these children who are writing their names on their fucking arms and legs if they get blown up so that they are not nameless and faceless. Just think about that. And I'm just going to leave it there. That's it.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, let's take a break.
Yes.
And we'll be back with more Jaden XD. Hit a Claude. And we're black. This week is a free week since we're back. So you are able to access this episode visually everywhere because we're talking about Love After Lockup. We're doing a 4-episode catch-up because today, if you listen to it and get through it, you can find out, you'd be all caught up and watch today's episode on WeTV. Check your local listings. I see why you all tweeted us. It was like, come back, come back, come back. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
So, where would you like to begin? I feel like it would be easier if we go through couple by couple.
Yeah, we'll go couple by couple. Last 4 episodes of Life After Lockup. If if you don't watch the show, you can still listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go couple by couple. Shall we start? Let's you want to start black or you want to start white?
Let's get the whites out the way.
Okay, let's start with Arrested Development and Can't Hardly Wait.
Okay. I will say I do want to end with Taylor and Chance. So we can start here. We can start with Melissa and Louie. They were not in the first episode that we missed. They were in. They started with Pizza of My Heart.
Yes.
Again, you could watch this visually for free on YouTube and on our Patreon for free. So you can share this link with all your friends and tell them to hop on over and subscribe. So, where we left off, I thought they were broken up. I forgot. But anywho, all of a sudden it's Louie's last day of work. And he's moving to New Jersey to live with Melissa No's Heart. And he looks like he transferred his parole to New Jersey. And he's packing all his things and he's apparently going to drive to New Jersey.
Makes sense to get his car there.
Yeah. And, he's telling Melissa this on the phone and both she and I agreed. I was like, that's not necessarily the smartest thing because now that his parole is in New Jersey, probation and parole. No, he's on probation. It's in New Jersey, and just in case something happens, if he gets pulled over for speeding or anything, like shit could go left, and he can go right back to prison. So he should have somebody to drive with him along the way, right? And I was like, yeah, it should have been his homeboy from the pizza shop, but
he got a business.
That's neither. I was gonna say that's neither here nor there. He got to work. So, of course, Donna is sad. Super bitch is, that Louie's leaving. However, Melissa randomly calls Donna on FaceTime and she's like, hey, super bitch, what's tea? And Donna was like, hey, bitch, shit, chillin', what's tea? And so she was like, I hate the fact that I'm about to do this, but can you ride with your son up here? Because for my own peace of mind. And of course, Donna is going to go with it. She's just like, of course, I wanted to go. I don't know why he's shutting me out of his life.
Oh, my God.
And, she's super crunk for Christ. So she's like, guess who's on the phone with me? She wants me to come with you on the trip. We're going to have so much fun. Road dogs. And, of course, Louie is fuming from the dentures. He's like, first of all, you call my fucking mother. Well, that's how I should know that some shit was up because you don't even like her. And number two, I'm an adult. I could do this. I don't need my mommy. The whole reason why I'm moving is to get up from under my mother that you keep throwing in my face about.
But now I agree with you, as far as the safety and just making sure, because that's a long drive.
Yeah.
Right? She can come and hop right back on a plane and go back home. The problem is the reasoning on why she wanted somebody to ride with him. It was not just, initially she made it seem like it was for his safety and just in case the police pull him over and he doesn't have the paperwork from New Jersey to show that he's paroled in New Jersey, so she doesn't want anything to go left. It is her insecurity showing up yet again. She said, what if you pick up a girl from a rest stop because she needs a ride? If you have somebody riding with you, then you won't have the opportunity to do anything like that. She's so concerned about this nigga cheating on her because she's still, again, Arrested Development. She's still living in the mindset of high school and thinking about the fact that she was in 10th grade and invisible and he was the popular boy. That she can't get out of her own fucking head about stuff. So she wants to control every aspect of everything that happens. So, him and Super Bitch get to New Jersey, and Melissa bought a new house because They rented a new house because they needed more space. That also shows you though, like how like you can just go get another house. The privilege.
In
Now,
New Jersey, yeah.
I guess it depends where you are. I guess I don't know where they are where are they in Jersey again?
Union.
Oh, okay.
Right outside of like
Jersey City
area.
Yeah, that's just not cheap anymore. But anyway, so she gets another house, and he wants to get a job. He doesn't have a job before he comes there, obviously. He wants to get a job as a personal trainer. He started doing some training stuff while he was locked up. She tells him that is not a grown-up job, and she has set up an interview for him as a truck driver.
Now, I'm not going to say it's not a grown-up job. It's just not a good idea for him to do that.
No, but for other reasons.
Yeah, for other reasons. Not because her insecurity about him trading other women, you know? Because I was like, oh, this sounds familiar. All Matt Sharp Entertainment has a couple who's one's a trainer and one's insecure about who they train.
Yep.
You know?
But it wasn't just about that. And I get it to a degree, right? You have to have certain certifications. You have to build up a clientele. Like that is something that takes effort and work. And, you know, there needs to be some income coming into the crib. But her reasoning is never because of what makes sense.
And let me tell you something. Truck drivers are the biggest hoes.
They are. I thought about that. I was like, you were concerned about him driving across the country and picking somebody up at a rest stop. What do you think, nigga? Why do you think them fucking sex shops and video stores and all of that be in these industrial ass areas where the truck driver shit is?
The big one here is right off like when you get on the 5, like going up towards like out of LA County and into the actual California.
Hello.
Right,
so that niggas can get off and go pick up a pussy and a fleshlight. Two at the same time. So I don't know what she thought she was doing with that. I know it's a secure job, but it's going to feed all of that insecurity that you have. But anyway, she doesn't think it's a grown-up career. And then Super Bitch shows.
She has a lot of nerve to talk about what's grown up and what's not. But hey,
there would be people who don't consider bartending a grown-up career. I don't agree with that. I was a bartender, but there would be people who would say that.
Anything that gets money is an adult shit to me. Like I don't like the only thing I would. No. If you paying bills, that's grown up. So
nigga, if you're selling crack, it's a grown-up fucking career because you're bringing money into the house. You're harming the community, but you're bringing money into the crib.
And now that's some grown-up shit.
Hello.
Wreaking havoc on a community.
That's some antiquated
Talk
shit.
about, I'm an adult, nigga. I wreak havoc on where I live.
Wreaking havoc in a community, just building tunnels underneath Eastern Parkway.
And you know the funniest part of the whole thing was them like getting out of like the tunnel, like the video, like fucking New York City rats.
They said they popped up out. They popped
like
up out
weasels.
the sewer, like ferrets.
What do you mean?
I was like, there's an underground tunnel under Eastern Parkway.
It's literally Fraggle Rock.
That's
Fraggle Rock. That's how Fraggle Rock was formed.
It's true. But I don't want to. Never mind.
I'm not trying to be offensive. That's just exactly what happened at Fraggle Rock.
No. That tunnel was crazy. This don't have nothing to do with. That tunnel was crazy, nigga. Like, and the audacity to do. If niggas, can you imagine if a bunch of Trinity niggas built a tunnel under Eastern Parkway and the police came and raided it? That would have went way differently.
Yeah. We want to expand Alia's Roti Shop all the way to the corner.
we want to get there with no traffic.
We want to expand it to Carroll. We want to expand it all the way to Carroll with no traffic.
Oh my God, nuts. Can you imagine
Yeah.
Allen's Bakery? It runs all the way underneath from Nostrand over to New York Avenue.
Or Caribbean vibes. Take all over Nostrand.
I'm about to burrow me a tunnel from here to the junction.
Yeah.
And they will get my black ass and they will shoot me. They didn't do none of that when they found that damn tunnel underneath Eastern Parkway, though. But anyway.
All they did was spray them with fucking
Febreze.
power wash.
It's just Ozium galore.
Yeah. And I also want to know, how long did it take to build those tunnels? Like, were y'all just like, tink, tink,
They
tink,
said they've
tink,
been
tink,
working on
tink,
it through the
tink?
pandemic. So I was like, these tunnels are new. Because I thought these were some tunnels they discovered. No, nigga, these is new tunnels, nigga. These tunnels.
But then I'm like, so nobody, if you heard talking in your walls, so you didn't hear like these big, like, this exact thing happened in Die Hard with a Vengeance, the Christmas film, when they were trying to get money out the Federal Reserve, and they blew up all the subway tunnels and shit to get all the money out. And it was just like, so nobody heard like explosions, nobody heard tink,
Yes,
tink, tink, tink.
that is how it got caught, because a resident heard them in the walls.
But before that, though,
yeah,
like
no,
at the
I know.
start of it, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
we are a city of minding our business.
Yeah, but there's one thing to mind your own business, but there's another thing where I'm like,
It's true.
nigga, I know the city is old.
Yeah.
And there's also dumb because it weakened the building that they already are in.
Oh, it completely
So
weakened the
therefore-
foundation. That was the whole problem. It weakened. All because
You
they
say
had beef.
indoctrination. I sell insurance. I say insurance scam. But hey. But Melissa and Louie.
Yes, back to them. If you're confused about what we're talking about, just go look up Secret Tunnel, Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York, Eastern Parkway. You'll find everything you need to know.
Yeah. So amidst all this, her thinking, you know, this is a dumb idea, she too presents a dumb idea.
Yep.
She's like, you know, I know you just moved here and I paid for your dentures and stuff, but I want to do something for me. So I'm going to get my face done.
Yep.
Which, you know, I'm not mad.
No.
But also, y'all together and y'all have some things to figure out.
He said,
But I wasn't really mad at her part on this. It was just really dumb. Like, why would you bring this up now after you just shot him down saying that his shit was dumb?
And by the way, my nose job's going to cost $11,000, but hurry up and get a job. Hurry up. So now I too agree with you, but I ain't trying to.
Oh yeah, you know, it would be money well spent. I will say that.
Because she looked like a foot. But so she goes, so she wants to get her nose and her chin done. And so he goes to go meet with his new CEO in Jersey, and she goes to go get her consultation at the doctor's office. My question is, this face in the confessional with this awful wet wavy hair, is that the new nose, or is that like
I couldn't
bad
tell. I couldn't
contouring?
tell. I want to. It had to be. That can't be her nose.
I was like, if that's the new nose,
sense.
I'm going back, pausing the fucking doctor's office, writing it down, and calling the Better Business Bureau.
Oh yeah, and I'm personally sending her an application to be on Botched because they played her.
If that
But
is
I
the
don't
new
think
nose.
if that is the new nose, but I don't think that is based off of. From what I can recall, it like the confessional still looked like she had a deviated septum.
Okay.
So
Okay.
but and her nostrils were like awkward, like naturally awkward.
Well,
so we'll see.
So it could be the lighting, but regardless, she drops the card, pays the full $11,000 while she's there, and she's about to get the nose job.
And he's going to be on probation until 2032.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now he goes to he finds the closest gym to them. He wants to at least get an interview, a meeting, so that he can start getting himself going in this fitness world. Has a meeting with the owner, who is probably has 3 American flags flying in front of his home.
Yeah, I'm sure he wrestled in some promotion
in
Florida.
And he's got a Blue Lives Matter sticker on the back of his car for certain. The man is being kind to him, but it is very evident he is not about to give this man no job, because once he learned that he committed armed robbery, was in prison for 10 years, and had a heroin problem, he was like, you have kind eyes, but I don't trust people. I don't trust heroin.
Yeah.
He's like, that's a slippery slope. So, but Louie is very positive. Louie is an extremely positive person, has a positive. He even left that thing like, well, I think that went well. I was like, it went okay. It went okay.
It went.
So he goes back to the house, and they're having a housewarming tonight. This is mainly so that his family and her family can be integrated and meet one another, because they haven't. Because remember, Super Bitch is still there from driving up with him. It's been 2 days. So we find out from Donna. Donna is Super Bitch. For those who have not been listening to the Love After Lockup recaps, Super Bitch is the hat that his mother Donna wears, and that is what she is.
It's her cape,
yes,
if you will.
Yeah. It's her power. She didn't know that he had a drug issue as bad as he did when he did. She found out when he seized one day and went to the hospital, and then she found out how bad it was when he was actually in prison and called her in the middle of like an episode. Melissa's sisters are bitches, though.
Yeah. Yes. And this is a sister we've seen before. This one who essentially, she comes in hot. She's like, I don't fucking like that bitch. And mind you, their brother seems sensible. Because before, when they walk in, they're having a big argument because all the women in the house are like, you wasted your time. All the women and Ron. Yeah. Actually, Ron
didn't really say, he ain't really say too much.
He kind of understood this part of it. But he was like, they were like, this was a waste of time. You need to get a real job. And their brother was like, hold on. He just got out of prison not too long ago. He just moved here like 12 hours ago. Yeah. And he's already been on one job interview. Like, it's difficult for him to line shit up like that. So how about you fucking relax? Donna comes in and reiterates that same thing. And she's like, I've been there. I get it, And Donna, as much as she's much as a bitch and she has weird attachment issues. And it's not weird because I understand where it comes from. Yeah. She also got to let him fight his own battles.
She does, but he doesn't fight them. And I can understand when you have her sisters specifically, like, shits on him. It's not even like I'm concerned about my sister. I'm worried about my sister. I'm worried about my sister because your son's a piece of shit because everybody who's used drugs before is a piece of shit. And it's like, girl, you need to fucking relax. That's not fair. You don't give anybody an opportunity to rehabilitate themselves into society and you don't give them that opportunity to do that when you just put them in that same box. Drugs they're hard. They are an illness, but also you telling somebody that they're hopeless and that it's inevitable that they're going to go right back it's not helping anything. And so I can understand why Donna comes in sometimes and be like, you need to chill the fuck out. Like, he's not that, he's trying to change his life and you're not going to pigeonhole him like that. So they'll go have a conversation, and we realize, we learned it before, her sister is extremely traumatized from her experience living with an addict. And remember, her partner passed. I'm sorry, her boyfriend, I don't know what the fuck he was, but her person.
Her partner, we'll
Yeah,
go with that. We'll
but
go
I
with
don't
that
want
for
to,
now.
I've been
For
seeing
all
some.
intents and purposes.
For all intents and purposes, her partner passed, who was an addict, and so she is traumatized. And she also had a very, very, very tumultuous experience living with an addict, and so she's fully traumatized by that. And I don't think she's gonna be able to pull herself out of that until she goes and gets herself some help. But it's time for Super Bitch to leave. And she's very, 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 very emotional. Oh, the parents also make peace, right? They get into this big fight. It's Battle of the Italians. I'll kill you. No, I'll kill you. If your daughter breaks my son's heart, I'll kill you. If your son breaks my daughter's heart, I'll kill you. Meanwhile, both of them old as shit and can't hardly get up.
No.
But they are, just throwing these threats around with reckless abandon. And then at the end of it, they make nice.
My note says her dad and his mom are making empty old people threats to each other.
It is.
And then Donna and Ron have a cigarette and have a legit one-on-one and become civil.
Yeah, they made nice. They hugged it out. They shared Marlboros with each other. And then it's time for her to go. They were like, the Italian way is the family way. And now we're family. We love each other. Donna gives Louie a bracelet before she leaves. And the bracelet is a rope, which I found to be hilarious because I said, this bitch is binding your soul to hers.
She is so funny.
She's so funny. She gets really, really emotional saying goodbye to him. And then she gets really emotional saying goodbye to Melissa and basically tells Melissa that she will be taking over her role.
Yeah.
You will be his mom now.
Yeah. And something tells me that she's not going to like that.
No, not at all.
Let's take a break and be back with 5 more couples.
Jesus Christ.
Hit it, Claude. And we're back. We're talking Love After Lockup, the last month that we missed here publicly. Again, you can watch it everywhere for free, the visual and audio, anywhere you get your podcast, and here on YouTube and on Patreon. And you can watch it for free on Patreon and subscribe to us and pay to see a whole bunch of other content.
Yep.
Where would you like to go next?
You want to go with Kiki Wyatt and Montana Mills?
Oh, okay. Kiki Wyatt and Montana Mills. Justine and Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me make sure I have this all in order. Okay. So last time we chatted, they were in Rhode Island, and this episode, these 4 episodes cleared up a lot of stuff for me. That they're all from Rhode Island, and it seems like Justine and them Justine had an opportunity to move to Pennsylvania, like most colored folks when they move to the suburbs. They all moved to the Poconos.
Yep.
So, they've been doing the hotel thing with the kids and stuff. And remember that her daughter ended up telling his daughter that they're secretly moving to Vegas. Mm-hmm. And they're supposed to keep it a secret. But, of course, that didn't happen. So they're getting ready at this moment. They're getting ready for dinner tonight with their mothers because they're going to tell them stuff.
Yeah.
Like, sit them down and tell them stuff. And so, they're having her mother's there. And remember, she has a white mother that she doesn't necessarily get along with, but she's holding it together civilly. And remember last time or last season that they were on, his mother and Justine have a little bit of an issue because his mother believes that Justine got pregnant by someone else and not her son. She has this weird belief because back in the day, her brother, the family ended up taking care of a child that wasn't blood related to them. And apparently that fucked the family up. Which in my head, I guess, yeah, but it's a child and you should love it regardless, but whatever.
Listen, we have dealt with similar circumstances. And once you start raising that child as your family, that child is your family. It's just what it is.
Yeah. And like, but that's also some real, like, I don't know, that's evil. So anywho, they up here just like, ooh, what's it gonna be? I have a gift for you. We have gifts for you for the baby. Oh my God, what's this? Why his mama put in a gift bag, pink and blue wrapping paper, a paternity test kit.
I would have lunged at that lady like that nigga did the judge.
Yeah.
What kind of disrespectful fucking... You know what? And her mother is the one who should have... Because she's pregnant. Her mother is the one who should have lunged at her ass. Okay? That deserves hands.
Yes. Because even her mother was like, whoa. You calling my daughter like a whore? Like, what do you mean? Like, that's fucking crazy. And she's like, I don't care. I'm still going to do it anyway. And like, they're flat out, Michael is telling her, his mama in his face, like, do you understand how disrespectful this is?
This is crazy. This is crazy. Justine kept it together more than he did. He was pissed.
She got a baby. She can't do too much. I know. She can't. Like we learned from Lindsay, you can't be pregnant in prison. That's just fucked up.
But his mother's like, well, I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm going to figure it out. So get ready. Buckle up, folks.
Right. So the next day, the kids are playing pool. And Melody, his eldest, pulls him to the side. And she is, ancestor child. She is very
sweet
well aware. And
sweet girl.
And well adjusted for what type of situation she's been growing up in. And, really sweet girl. And she pulls her dad to the side and she's like, I heard you're moving. I feel hurt. That you're doing this to me, to us. And, I understand that. She was like, I want everybody to live in the same state. But I get that you can't live here because otherwise this is not fulfilling your dreams and whatever the fuck. But she was like, I want to let you know that this fucking sucks.
And I don't like how you moved. And
yeah.
And he's like, listen, I get it. I understand. And I apologize. The plan was to tell you all, but, I had a way I was going to do it. And I wish you didn't find out in this way. But he did honor her feelings and acknowledge her feelings.
Yeah, I guess, because here's the thing. They're still going to move anyway, regardless of...
They are going to move anyway. And that's a difficult situation. That's just difficult.
I also was on her mama's side, and when she asked him later on, she was like, so let me ask, so wait, you didn't tell your baby moms that you're moving?
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Just look at her blankly. But anywho, we'll get to that.
Yes.
So we have a gender reveal party because why wouldn't we on WeTV? Right?
A private parts party.
Yes, a private parts party and it's a sumo wrestling gig, right? Fast forward, they're having a
it was some weird I can't stand the rain pink and blue suits with like Pooh Shiesty mask. I don't know. It was
either way, they're giving birth to a child that happens to have a vagina.
Yeah.
Be born with a vagina. So at the party, his sister Anna, queer icon.
Let me tell you something, legend. She is that girl is the
mother,
glue.
A sister, an auntie.
What?
Listen, give her an award
Y'all make sure you
wife.
put her on the ofrenda, when down the line when her time comes,
Keeping
because
the family together.
the girl does the good work and will continue to do it in every life.
I was shaky. We were on shaky ground at first, but I had to understand where she was coming from, and I realized that her brother was a fuck nigga, so I had to
Exactly. And she's been the auntie to be like, okay, but I'm gonna make sure we all in the family. There's always the aunties like, my brother ain't shit, but I'm gonna make sure that these kids know that we are family. We all know.
Exactly. But Anna tells their mama, bitch, you were wrong, and you need to apologize. Like, that's fucked up, Ma. And you can't say no shit like that. I know we feel a little bit of way about her, but you can't do that, because that is fucked up to your son's wife. Like, you're hurting your son's feelings. And, Melody, they do the reveal, and Melody's feeling a little way because they're having a girl, and she was their first girl, and he not even there for the girls that he already got. So it's just a lot going on, right?
Yeah.
So then the last day that they're about to go back to Pennsylvania, they have a big Dominican American breakfast, and the only thing that makes an American is the advent of pancakes.
Yeah, it was mangú and salami and fried cheese and
which is weird
plátano
because
maduros.
Every breakfast platter that I've had in the Bronx was all that with pancakes, and I never thought of it as an American breakfast.
Pancake. It's just the pancake.
Yeah.
For a little razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
And of course they show up in those head ass matching sweatsuits. So they have the breakfast. They're, all the families are together. They're having a lovely family moment. The mother has since apologized, like XD said. So, Justine let it rock. But Michael's like, yeah, this is cute. We've got to get to business. We're moving. We want to tell everybody that, because remember, that's why they were going to the dinner with the mothers, but they didn't get a chance to tell the mothers because of the pregnancy test fiasco.
Because his mother
or
is
because of
stupid.
Paternity test fiasco. And belligerent. Belligerent with it. So they tell the family, and it is not good. And rightfully so. Like we talked,
tears and
everybody's emotional.
The babies are so upset.
As we keep talking about the babies, it was really the reaction of the babies and the fact that you didn't talk to their mothers and you didn't see ahead of time, like, let's check and see if maybe they can come live with us, full time for a bit. Maybe those ladies want a break. And you didn't tell them. And they've already been without you for 6 years. And I think these niggas might be sick. So their whole goddamn lives. And, it's just a fest of emotions.
Twins,
There's definitely Project Twins in the bunch. Oh, absolutely. Those two little ones.
And yeah. And it also didn't seem like niggas have this grandiose idea of when they get money, they want to buy land and have chickens and shit like that, which we'll get to Eris and Cameron. But like, I don't think he had any idea of inviting all of his children to live under one roof. Like, I don't feel like that was ever.
I thought they said it a couple episodes ago, but maybe not.
Yeah, everybody lies and says like, "Oh, I want all my kids to be together," or whatever. But I just don't see him. He don't raise children, so I don't really,
Justine, she got emotional before they told the families because she had the thoughts of, she felt guilty for the little kids, but it's not enough to. Justine is concerned about her kids first. Like, she loves all of them. I'm not gonna say she's like a bonus mom or whatever doesn't give a fuck about the kids. I'm not gonna put that on her, but she cares about her kids first, and the fact that her oldest daughter got into college out there, and the cost of living is much lower than living on the East Coast and many places. I can see where they're torn, but also you did not handle this correctly. She didn't handle a lot of things correctly, as we're about to find out.
Yeah. So they leave, whatever. Shit is still in disarray. But they end up going back home, and they're finally moving. They closed on their home. We don't remember. They didn't pick the house, I believe, that we saw. So they got someplace else, and they closed on the home. And in order for him to move, he has to get permission from two people, his probation and parole. So he has federal probation federal probation and state parole.
Which makes sense because drugs.
Yes. And so in order for him to move, he has to get permission from both of those entities. He got a call from his PO and was like, hey, come down, got some shit to take care of, paperwork. And they're in the throes of packing. And so Justine's like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. He goes down to the office and shit is not all roses. Apparently, there was a document that was mailed to him that was supposed to be filled out. But because they're doing so much with this move, it might have been misplaced or whatever. And because this document is not completed or whatever, he can't move. And in order for them to reissue another one, it'd take 30 to 90 days. And of course, he lies to his wife that everything is okay and everything is good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she calls and instead of saying, hey, that didn't go well, she says, how did it go? He said, it went good.
Yeah, he lies. Yeah, lies about everything. And we can see that tonight, or in the next episode, she's about to spawn a nuke.
And
as she should be.
Because they are supposed to move in a week. And she is, good and pregnant. So that really fucks things up.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
Well, that was them.
Yes.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more couples here on Jaden XD. Hit it, Claude. And we're back. We're doing a Life After Lockup recap, roundup thing for everybody. Last 4 episodes. Let's move on to Lindsay and Blain.
You read my mind.
Jerrica Benton and Ernest gets proposed to. So our girl is working and back in school. She is doing the things, okay? She is being a parent. She is taking Miley Grace to shoot some hoops and getting her head a little bit down near the local college that Lindsay goes to.
Because remember, that's where she shines, in basketball and drug lording.
Which, there's a joke there, but I don't want to be anti-black today. So...
Not today.
Not today. So, her and Miley Grace are chatting, and she eventually she first talks to Miley Grace, her friend, kid, daughter, about Ernest Goes to Jail's son, Kagan.
Yeah.
And, Kagan is like 6 or so, and he's had a rough life. Like his mom is not really there, and Blaine just got him like the other day.
Yeah.
So. He's been going through some stuff, and so like Lindsay wants to adopt the child, and
because his
she
mother's
asked
not
her
in his
like,
life anyway.
Yeah, and so she asked Miley how she felt about that, and Miley was like, no. No, real, and like, why? Just no, no. And then she goes, well, how would you feel if I got married to, Blaine? And she was like,
not interested.
Not interested. Why do things have to change? I don't need another daddy. Like, I don't need a daddy, and you keep forcing the stepfather situation on me, and I'm just not with that. Like, I'll go back and be with Gammy. Like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
Which is so funny because Miley Grace adamantly told her no, and then like an hour later she goes to propose to this nigga. But anywho,
Yeah, she said she was wholly not interested, and then she didn't give a fuck. So why the fuck would you even ask?
Right. So they go the next day. They go see Blaine's lawyer because remember, Mama got charges too, still pending charges,
Yes.
and so. And a lot of them resulted from when she first got on the show, when she was fucking around with Scott, Grandpa Simpson, and he put some false allegations out there on her and got her locked up for 18 months.
False and true, but he was a bitch for doing it in the first place.
Yes. So because of that, Mama's facing up to 40 years of prison time.
Nuts.
Unless she could drop $20K.
Yeah.
It's so interesting how this lawyer is like, because he presented to Blaine too, you about to be locked up for 900 years, but if you pay this amount of money, you won't have to do it anymore.
Then I'll get it done. What?
Like, what do you mean? Like, that's so weird. Like, again, it's like pre-check or TSA.
No, because that saved my fucking life over the holidays. I'm not accepting that from you. Saved my life over the holidays, okay? And digital ID.
So it said. So anywho,
rotten.
After she gets this dire news that she has to pay a whole bunch of money, she gets an idea, and she calls her homegirl Six. Now, Six is somebody we've never met before.
Yeah, we have.
But we have?
Yeah, we met her. I feel like briefly. I feel like we met her briefly before.
Oh, well, I don't remember her. But Six is her down-ass friend.
Yeah, one who ain't got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. And so she's like, I got a lot of people owe me money, Six, and I need you to help me because you still tapped into the life.
Yeah. In the neighborhood.
So she enlists her to be, to go around the hood to come and collect debts.
Yeah. Yeah.
My Lord. So, and it's really funny because she really is pushing niggas on, like, in front of their, like, trailers, like, run me my money.
What's funny is that she's doing it in, like, her finest mom gear and a pair of Tevas. She is yoking niggas up with Tevas on, talking about put the word out. I'm out getting my money, and you let them know if I gotta look for them, it's gonna be a problem. You cannot threaten me in a pair of Tevas, and I own Tevas, but I would not step up to fight while wearing them.
True. But, I was proud of her in this moment. I was like, you know what? You're being responsible. You're not going to jail. You're having Six doing it for you. And for whatever reason, these people are afraid of you. Well, I could see why they would be. But because they just willingly giving her money, just here, Lindsay, I'm so
She's
sorry.
not well in the eyes. But I don't understand this great fear of this girl. Maybe she's big, she's a big deal in her small town. But I don't,
She's the big niche of Kinlock.
That's fucking crazy. Because remember, that's how we met Ernest. He was working for her.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Mama has to get $20K, so she leaves. She leaves
White
the first
Turner.
trailer, and Six is like, so how much more we got to get? She was like, $19,500. Girl, you are not about to pay these attorney fees running around collecting $200 from niggas at a time.
Right, no.
It's not going to happen.
And what makes you think that you have $20K out there uncollected? Because if you do...
Oh, because Six consulted her note in her phone. She's like, let's look at the list.
A consigliere, for real.
She's like, all right, now let's add 20% interest onto this so that we can try to make this make sense.
A friend.
Yeah, but Six got teeth like a nigga who don't have nothing to lose. And so...
She looks like Jackie O.
Oh, my God. like she bites.
Yeah, like ferocious. Rawr. So,
Ooh,
just when we thought, our girl was bossing up and doing the things, she sets us women back.
Like that fucking Secret commercial or what? They had that goddamn black girl with that fucking afro performing, proposing to that nigga in that fucking deodorant commercial.
Pissed me off. Get up.
Now, Mama makes a cute setup, right? Like, I was like, okay, this is a cute date night. Like, she put the fairy lights in the bed of the truck.
Well, wait. Before we get there, because remember, they have to go buy, they're and her homegirl go buy the engagement thing.
Yeah, yes.
So,
Yes.
she goes with her homegirl that looked like Renee from Mob Wives. And they go to the jewelry shop, which I feel like everybody goes to the same jewelry shop on this show.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
they go, and
Jared's.
she's like, I'm going to propose to him. And her friend is like, why? Is this because you're afraid to go to prison? and you don't want to be alone? And you want somebody to take care of Miley? And then so all of a sudden, production is like, yeah, why are you proposing to him? Like, is it because you're afraid to go to prison and you want somebody to be... And she's like, no, it has nothing to do with that. I just want to be married. And production's like... I don't buy it.
But she buys him the chain anyway, which baffled me, because if you're out here collecting $250 at a time because you got to pay $20,000 to an attorney so that you don't spend 10 years of a 40-year sentence in prison, why the fuck you going to waste money on a chain and a wedding and a blah, 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 if you're not afraid of not being married when you go to prison? Just saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, her homegirl was calling her to fuck out.
Yeah.
And so, yes, so she goes to the house and sets up the date night. And like I said, it was cute. It was the truck. It was the fucking fire pit, and she had like a whole tin of things to make s'mores, and like I was like, this is a cute concept. Asked Miley Grace to watch the kids that she says she don't have no interest in for an hour. Doesn't tell her what she's doing after she just asked her opinion about it. And then she goes outside to the truck, takes Blaine, and it's chicken feet and soup. Chicken feet with diamond rings on it and soup.
I cannot believe that she proposed with a necklace.
I can't believe she proposed, but I can't believe he proposed with a ring.
Yeah.
She proposed with this chain, and Blaine looks confused for a period of time, and then he finally says yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes to tell Miley Grace after a few days that she proposed to Blaine. She's like, I can't hold this any longer. I asked your opinion and didn't consider it whatsoever. And so it's about high time I told you. So Miley Grace is doing her hair, getting ready for school. And she says, I just want to let you know I proposed to Blaine. And Miley says, get up!
She was so disgusted with her mother.
She said, what the fuck you mean you proposed to Blaine? Well, I proposed to Blaine. Oh, so he don't want to marry you then? She's like, what? He don't want to marry you, girl, because he would have proposed to you. We don't propose to niggas around here, mother. That was paraphrased.
Get with the program.
And she's like, but we're different. And like, we don't care about traditions and heteronormative. And she's like, girl, fuck all that, girl. Get up, girl.
Know your words. God.
And you know, we're real you know, we are forward thinking here at Jaden XD. You know what I'm saying? Ish. Where it matters, where it counts.
Where it counts. Yeah.
Get up. Okay, because that's
Get
something I'm
up.
never gonna get with the program on. I'm just not
Never.
doing it. If it is
Never.
a
For what?
heterosexual relationship, chicken feet and soup, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
I
it.
feel the same way about gay shit too. Whoever's the top proposes. It called that problematic. I don't give a fuck. I feel like that's what it's supposed to be. Goddamn it, we have to restore the natural order of things.
Sometimes,
and this is what happens when y'all push this weird verse agenda. You got to be on the straight and narrow. Sometimes binary is okay.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Yes.
And in the case of dealing with a heterosexual cisgendered nigga, I use nigga. It is not race nor gender specific. In the case of dealing with a heterosexual cisgendered nigga, get up.
Get up.
Not doing it. I got to find that chicken feet and soup again. Let me see.
Yeah. So like after Lindsay like tries to explain like, no, we're this is what we like, this is what we do. Then Molly says, "Oh, so you're settling." And I said, "Oh my God."
She said, "What you mean I'm settling?" She's like, girl, let's be clear.
I kind of feel you could do better.
You could do better
That's
than
what
that.
she told her. And Mama's trying to get married in like a month. So, you know,
Because
then Molly was like, "Are you pregnant?" She asking all the questions like she watched the show. So all of a sudden, we cut to a scene to I'm down to Planned Parenthood. And of course, with the magic of editing and them being sneaky, we learn that she's having IUD issues and she's getting a new one replaced or getting one replaced.
No, she's making sure that bitch is solid and secure where it is. And that
I know she was trimming
getting the strings
cords
trimmed. So okay, let me explain to you. So IUD.
Oh yes, let me.
Is shaped like a T, and it has two little strings attached to it.
I don't understand the strings part. Is that like a tampon where you pull it out, like that type of science behind it?
Kind of. It is placed in your uterus to separate the egg from the sperm when it gets there. It is placed in there in a way where you don't remove your own IUD. But the strings are there for the gynecologist to be able to remove the IUD. From time to time.
So like a tampon situation, but for medical grade. Yeah.
Yes. But it doesn't hang out like a tampon string does. You have to be a medical professional or a nigga digging deep into the guts in order to experience the IUD strings. Sorry, TMI, but it happens. She wanted to make sure, because she has not told Ernest that she has an IUD, because she is not trying to get pregnant. So she has not told Ernest she has an IUD, so she wanted to ensure her IUD was planted firmly where it's supposed to be, because they can move, and that is a possibility. It shouldn't happen, but because they're good for like 5 to 7 years, they can move. So she wanted to make sure it was where it was supposed to be, and that he wouldn't be able to feel them strings like that.
Huh. Well, she got that fixed, and that was them.
And the reason why she's so anti having a baby right now is because of the possibility of going to jail. And she says that when you have a baby in jail, your baby leaves with a golden seal, meaning your baby leaves with a prison number. So she said, my baby ain't gonna have no prison number.
Yeah, no.
at 5 days old or however long they, whatever. Like, it's just not happening. So she's not letting that happen right now.
That's valid.
Yeah.
And that was them. Let's take a break and we'll be back with more. And we're back. Life After Lockup recap.
I think we should go with Bubba Gutierrez and Sarah Strawberry Shortcake. Oh.
I agree. It has been quite some time since we have seen Bubba Gutierrez and Strawberry Shortcake. Oh, yeah.
Will you marry me?
Exactly. So, it's been a while since we've saw them. Remember, they had a baby. The last time we saw them, she reconnected with her child's father, and they kept that from Sean.
Yeah.
The father, her, and her mama.
Yeah.
And that pissed him off really, really bad.
Yeah.
But anywho, we're back. She's off parole. They're at, Chili's, Cheddar's probably. And, she announces that she's off parole. She's off papers. She's free, good for her. And now that she's free, she wants to get a BBL now.
Yeah.
When we saw her last, she was very uncomfortable with her body, and she had went through this breast augmentation surgery once. Since then, she's had another one to go bigger, and she's also had a tummy tuck.
Yeah.
Which, I'm with it, all that.
Love it, man.
Good for you. However, he hates the fact that she's getting this all done. Not because he's being insecure about how he looks or how she looks to men or whatever. He feels she's doing all these surgeries because of all the pain medication she gets because she is still a recovering addict.
Yeah.
Which is, I haven't seen that much audacity since Justine was here. You know what I mean? And whereas I understand that's a valid concern, that would have been dealt with differently, right?
Yeah.
So, anywho, it kills the mood, and they get home, and he stays in the car for a little bit because he was like, "I'm not going inside," because her mama was in there. And like I said, remember, he still don't fuck with her mama ever since that y'all lied to me about this daddy thing. Now, Methy Piggy was like, so I'm good enough to watch his children, but I'm not good enough to talk to.
I'm good enough to wash his drawers. Because remember, with Sarah having all this work done, she can't carry the baby. She can't walk up the stairs. She can't do nothing. So the mother has been stepping up, helping with the laundry, washing this nigga's drawers, watching their kids. And she brought up a good point. She's like, so he forgives you for doing the lying, but he won't fuck with me whatsoever.
Well, yeah. I don't ever want to defend him, right? I don't ever want to defend him. I just can't defend either of their behavior. Her mama and her.
Well, the thing about it is, here is where I wouldn't, maybe defense is strong, but understanding. Her mother told her, tell him the truth.
Yeah, she did.
Tell him the truth about this baby father because it's going to be worse in the end. She said, no, I'm not doing that. I will do it when the time is right. The mother is her mother. So she told her what she needs to do, but she's also going to hold her daughter down and be like, all right, well, I'm not going to I'm going to see my grandbaby and stuff. So, you my daughter first before this nigga is, this nigga's not my child. So for him to hold such a grudge, though, where he won't come in the house, You do,
It's childish.
it's childish. And then she comes out and he sounds like Napoleon Dynamite. Oh, I hate that bitch. Ugh. I was like, get over yourself. You sound like a fucking 13-year-old. And then he continues to piss me off, which is why I won't say nothing to defend this nigga, because Kelly calls. Baby mother.
It's important to note that he does not have his original job right now. He started a towing company with Sarah.
Yes, it's also important to note for those who don't know that this nigga has like 6 kids with his ex who has all of them. None of them live with him. All of them live with her.
Mm-hmm. Even the grown ones, I think.
Even the grown ones. So she calls and she's like, hey, I need some money. Such and such needs to go to this camp. Such and such is playing this instrument. Such and such is doing this. He's like, I ain't got no money for you right now. She said, it's not for fucking me. It's for your kids. Second of all, I am holding this shit down day in and day motherfucking out. And I just need you to at least match what I'm already doing. Because this shit is overwhelming. I don't have it right now. I started this business. I just don't have it. Okay, nigga, can you do $400 or $500? Like something would help. I don't know. I ain't really got it like that. I'll see what I can do. She's got all the kids. All of them.
And he has a total of like $6 in his bank account.
Yep. And already had a prison girlfriend. We were introduced to this nigga. For those who don't know, we were introduced to him as another couple many seasons ago. He was with a bitch named Justine, who scam queen.
Yes, I hope she's well.
I hope she is too. She did a number on him and he deserved it. But, she was a piece of work. She did a number on him, he deserved it. Then he ends up getting with Sarah, who was the other lady he was talking to in prison. So he has a thing for talking to inmates, which shows you that he's got a problem.
Mm-hmm. He's that thing that Mandy taught us.
Yeah. I forget what she said they were called.
Yeah.
We got to have Mandy back. But he's that. He likes to date prisoners. He's got a thing for prisoners. And so he gets with Sarah because Sarah's the safer option and Destiny was, a loose cannon. And now he's, still not doing right by his kids.
No.
That was it.
And that was them. We can move on to somebody else because they were short.
Want to do Selena Gomez and Key Rock, La Cienega?
Yeah. We can push through them.
Yeah.
So, last time we chatted, Key Rock and Brittany, they were jumping out of planes to prove their love for one another, and all that jazz. And also, remember that Key Rock was inquiring about employment, like on the way to jump out of planes to prove their love for one another. So this brings us to where we are now. And so Key Rock went to a job interview down to the workforce. It was for a plumbing gig, black company, it seemed like. The interview went really well. However, Key Rock was very nervous because when they asked for his ID has a different gender on it than he is. And I don't even know if probably a different name, maybe. I'm not sure. All their dead stuff was on their ID. And so they were worried that how they would be perceived after that. And also even though they knew the backstory, Key Rock explained to them, like, I was incarcerated and all that good stuff, and that's where I learned a bunch of shit. But he was still nervous. But the job guy, the interviewer, he was like, I don't give a shit about this. Like, okay, well, how long were you in for? Like, they asked the important shit, and I appreciated that. And eventually, Key Rock got hired.
Yep. Got the job.
They respected his pronouns and everything. And I was like, this is really, really good. And I think this also just boils down to, because that nigga was like, I don't really care who you are. Can you do the good work?
Yeah.
Because otherwise
Are you OSHA certified? Copy.
Yes. Yeah.
As
like,
it should
otherwise
be,
I can't help
honestly. As it should
Yeah. Yeah. Because apparently, this is a total side note, there's like a queer carpentry company in the Bay Area that I learned. Because my cousin was talking to me about his first experience befriending someone trans. And mind you, this is someone who is older, went to prison.
Okay.
I feel like I've talked about my cousin before. So he is a particular type of nigga, but he's also opening and open and will tell you I'm opening to learning and I'm trying to be a better person because he has a 3-year-old son. So, he has to be up with the world, right?
I appreciate a nigga with a not a closed mind and not a hateful mind.
Yeah, and he was like it threw me for a loop, but he was like, oh well, they did work better than the other folks, so I was like, and that's what matters. None of who we are.
No.
Some of that is a part of who we are, our identity. But when it comes to like good work and shit like that, don't nobody give a shit. No. Can you do the job or not?
That's it.
So anywho, Key Rock goes to the gym. Mm-hmm. And he expresses, and I thought about this randomly too. I don't know what made me think about this, but I was like, whatever happened to his other brothers that were on this show?
We saw them
when Brittany moved. When they had that
the little barbecue, the little steak out.
Barbecue.
They did the little steak thing. Key Rock had them do the little steak thing at the crib. Remember, but his brothers had, and then I feel like one or both of them were there when he proposed as well.
The skinnier one,
the taller one,
not Desmond.
Yeah.
Desmond wasn't there because that's what I was thinking of. Because I remember Desmond looked exactly like Tammy, and I was like, I haven't seen this one for a while. This is a random thought I had. So Key Rock expresses to like the gym trainer there, like, have you talked to Desmond? Like, what's tea? And he's like, nah, what happened? So we learned that Desmond has had a troubled past.
Yes.
Not necessarily like in and out of prison, but there was a time where he has OD'd on a party drug before. He has a little issue with he got a little drugs, a lot of traumas and isms and stuff like that. Yeah. Right? And so, Key Rock and Tammy, his mother, have a conversation about Desmond and his addiction, and they talk about a harm reduction strategy for him. And I'm really proud of Key Rock because Key Rock kind of led the charge because Tammy was like, I'm about to call the cops and do all the things that you should not do.
Oh, no, girl, not the police.
Yeah, I was like, all the things you should not do. And she was trying to stage like an intervention. Again, horrible. Don't ever do that, ever. No. That's going to be give you the adverse
and
results
we find out a little bit more about, because...
Their home life.
Their home life and where some of their triggers come from. And I can see where the way that she loves can trigger them. So, so, they're trying to figure out this plan. Next episode, Mom cooks a spread of her world famous food.
Oh my God.
Her fish.
Tammy cooked a spread
of her world famous dishes. Her catfish did look good though. I'm not gonna hold you.
It did.
I'm not gonna hate. Them corn muffins and that catfish did not look bad at all.
Yeah, so everything else it was.
I couldn't really see the other stuff. I can see that she's one of those people that chops her greens up finely, like really fine. And I don't prefer greens like that. But anyway. I digress. Her catfish look good. So she's still very, very worried about her son. Key Rock is worried about his brother. She wants to call the police. Key Rock calls. Desmond picks up, stutters, hangs up the phone. That's because he's there. So he comes in and he jokes, quote unquote, with them that he was in jail and that's why they haven't heard from him. And
Don't
they're
play
like,
that.
right. I was like, what? Now, why would you do that, nigga? And they're like, when he's like, I wasn't in jail. They're like, come on, nigga. He was like, I was just getting high. So they ask him, were you drinking? Were you using? He gave a very smart answer. No. And if I was, I'm not getting ready to say it in front of all of these people. That nigga still remembers that he's on TV and he's not getting ready to implicate himself. And
that lets me know that he was.
No, he absolutely was. That also, but he's also an intelligent individual. He's not dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna tell y'all niggas and my nigga thoughts.
I'm not telling y'all about my nigga thoughts, my nigga activities, and my nigga mind that I move in my nigga body. So
yes, with these non-niggas.
So Desmond gets a little belligerent and dismissive and a little disrespectful to his mom. It says, she ain't my wife. She's my mom. She don't need to be checking in on me with that, which that was interesting. I'm not gonna be no titty baby for the rest of my life, And kind of then he's like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm out, right? He gets easily and he frazzled and he goes. Key-Rock chases him out. They're best friends. Apparently, they have always been close growing up. They seem pretty close in age. I think he said he's 5 years older than him. But they've always been very, very close. And Key-Rock is really trying to be supportive of Desmond while he is going through this, as opposed to coming at him with criticism and heat. Tammy comes back out. And she's like, you ain't, because Key-Rock calms him down. And she comes out and she comes out hot. You not about to be up in my house disrespecting me. I'm sick of your shit, nigga. Da da da. And while I understand, because he lives in her house, you got to figure out the best approach on if you actually want to help somebody that you love. So he leaves. Key-Rock goes chasing him outside. And we find out that his brother suffers from anxiety, PTSD, depression, etc., etc. And he says that it is all due to the way that he grew up in this home and his parents. And Key-Rock talks him down, really gives him like some support and some assurance, to the point where Desmond comes back in. And he apologizes to his mother and makes nice with his mom. And that's that. It's a journey. And Brittany speaks on that. It's a journey when somebody uses drugs and they're in the throes of usage. Every day is a new day, and you just have to take things day by day and do the best that you can to support them how you can. Next episode,
Brittany's with her homegirl Shay.
Yes, her hater BFF. It's always a hater bestie. And Love After Lockup.
Yeah. They get into a conversation about acceptance in her family, and her parents, and so apparently they're about to her and Key-Rock are about to go to New York, and before that, Shayla tells Brittany, you need to get a life of your own and stop living under Key-Rock's. Like, you got a grandmother in New York who's going to bat for you. Fuck your parents. And I feel like a part of your parents hate you or have issues because they don't see you. So, and you don't talk to them.
I didn't agree with that. I agreed with her.
I didn't agree with that.
I agreed with her where she says she lives up under Key-Rock's life and she's so concerned with Key-Rock's life. I didn't realize it'd been 6 years since she's seen her abuela, right? So, and it's true. She got out. She set up shop so that her and Key-Rock could be together when Key-Rock gets out. She went to CC's beauty school for girls and did all her things, set up home for when he comes. But
Yeah.
I didn't realize she has not been home to see her people at all. I thought this was all because her parents would not see her. I did not
It's also
agree.
very difficult going back to New York, and I can understand that.
Yes, it's not
And
that far from Virginia, especially when you have a car, but I can understand maybe it being more difficult for her. But 6 years is 6 years, I understand, includes the time that she was locked up as well. But her best friend is not wrong. She does live, because she even mentioned, I feel so bad for Desmond. She's like, girl, damn Desmond right now. Like, you got your own family problems. I fully agreed with that. Where I did not agree was her pushing for her to go pop up on her parents. Because Brittany has extended the olive branch multiple times. She invited her father to dinner on Father's Day. She sent her parents a picture of her engagement ring with no response. Like, she has done many things to reach out and communicate with them, and they have met her with coldness and nothingness. Yep. And so I do not agree that she needs to continue to put herself in a situation where she is emotionally hit time after time when these people are showing that they don't want to have a relationship with her based off of her life's choices to be with Key-Rock. And it's transphobic, and it's homophobic, and it's hateful for you to shut your kids out in that way. I cannot imagine a world where Noah sends me a picture of an engagement ring and I don't say shit to her. Right. Even if I'm not happy with the relationship that she is in, that is my child. I'm going to find a way to make sure I communicate with my child. I don't isolate my child away from me. And that is what they ice her out. And I don't feel like anybody needs to put themselves in a circumstance to be continuously hit by anybody, blood or not. If they are not honoring you and they are disrespecting you and they icing you out, why do you need to keep putting forth the effort? But I did agree that your grandmother has been there for you. Your grandmother's been supportive. Go take a weekend and go see your grandmother. I did agree with that. And she tried to make her feel bad for not doing more for her relationship with her parents instead of acknowledging how they move as well. I didn't, but also they're young. These girls are like 20 years old.
Yeah, they're very young. So they had to get permission to go because, they're both on papers.
Yep.
So as soon as they get permission, they get on the road. And as soon as they get on the road, Tammy calls. And she said Desmond is stressing her out. And so apparently Desmond came over and started just being just raggedy. Yeah. Yeah. And of course, brother Key-Rock is so protective, of his family, especially of Tammy, that, and seems like brother Key-Rock's the only person that can talk Desmond down. Yeah. And so he was feeling super guilty for not being there. And, Brittany was like, I know you feel bad, but like, this trip is important to me too. Now, pause. Key-Rock didn't say nothing about canceling this trip or anything. He was just like, I feel fucking bad. We still driving, girl. Like, what's tea? Yeah. So of course they can't have anything without an argument. Yeah. That's how queer couples operate. So they
you just couples.
Couples, yeah. So it gets so. Because the argument didn't really make sense because they were just trying to like one-up each other for no reason. Yeah. And all of a sudden, and I knew this was going to come up, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I got a job. You the one that left school. And I was waiting because that had nothing to do. We talking about Desmond and his troubles and driving to New York. All of a sudden, you, Key-Rock, want to be petty in this moment and throw up the fact that Brittany left school.
There's a couple things that struck me with this. Key-Rock was clearly spiraling, okay, and having a moment and saying and not. Key-Rock was having a moment, okay, and definitely spiraling. Brittany, on the other hand, was making this about her. Yes. And I agree with you. They were like doing this weird one-up thing. I did understand the fact that her life is consumed by his life. And so I get that it would be nice to be able to focus on her world for a little bit, but they are also in the throes of family drama right now. Another thing that struck me is I think his mother is very sweet. I think they have a very sweet relationship. I'm glad that, they've been able to work through their issues and so forth. I also feel like his mother kind of relies on him a bit emotionally too much. I understand being concerned about your other child. I understand you seeing dynamics and like this child communicates better with this child, so I need their help in certain ways. But I do think that Tammy almost relies on Key Rock emotionally a lot. In the same sense, Key Rock is very much a mama's boy. And so they're just very bonded, which you can't really do anything with that. It's a sweet thing, but sometimes that's going to cause some tension, in situations like this. Now, like you said, the argument kind of just gets out of control and doesn't make sense. Key Rock asked her to pull over, which I didn't understand because he wasn't driving anymore. And then he gets out of the car on the highway and calls Desmond. Desmond answers, which, helps to put his guards down a little bit. He's like, okay. He's okay to where he at least responded to me. I can calm down in that sense. And that's where Key Rock acknowledged that he was spiraling. He's like, I'm nervous about meeting your family, your grandmother. I'm also really concerned about my brother. I'm really concerned about my mother, and everything all kind of came to a head at one time. And so I apologize for the way that I, projected that one to you. And then he also, in a very nigga ass way, is like, okay, so we good? Now give me a kiss. I hate that kind of shit. He was in his fiefs. He admits he was in his fiefs. And they are on their way to New York.
And that brings us to a break.
Yes.
And we'll be back with more Jane and XT. It's a long one today.
What do we have? 2 more couples? 3. Jesus,
so.
4. Oh my God. All right. See y'all in a minute. Bye.
And we're back.
Quaylen and Shovel.
Let's move. That's fine. Again, we're doing Life After Lockup, Bonanza, Extravaganza, the month of shit that we missed while we were gone.
God damn.
Okay, so Quaylen and Shovel, right?
Black Dynamite. That's my new name for him.
Yeah, Black Dynamite. So the shirt is back. Yeah. Missouri's Lakeith Stanfield, because he looks exactly like that nigga too.
Same ilk. I can see the same ilk. If you don't watch the show, when we say the shirt, Quaylen is, first of all, Quaylen looks like a blaxploitation character. He has,
like, if you were to look up the term jive turkey,
yes,
he would be there.
He would be right there with his little fro, and he wears this animal print contrast shirt striped between, I believe it's like leopard print and zebra stripes.
Yes. So, him and his mother take little Maila out to Discovery Zone.
Yeah.
Maila is his soon-to-be stepdaughter. And, him and his mother sit down and they talk about what happened at the venue previously. And, a couple months ago, we saw that they're at the wedding venue at the Pier Space. And, her mama tried to start a fight.
Yes, honey.
I don't fight with street people.
His mother. I did laugh at him talking about, These two old fowls were getting ready to get into it, and I don't give a fuck what's going on. We can't have that.
Yeah, them two old birds were about to go at it. And his mama apologized, even though she wasn't in the room, but she was like, I apologize for making it hot and adding fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
But she was like, I feel as though she should have just shut the fuck up because she's not paying for it. So what's all this lip service about?
I mean, and valid, but also
she was right.
You can't
Mommy,
be in the
you
can't be
too.
in the peer space about to throw hands with my mother-in-law. Like that's not how this is gonna go.
Yeah. So it all of a sudden it comes up in conversation about how he wants to actually adopt Maila. Because, her dad isn't there. And it's always interesting to see the perception of what other men and their parenting. Because he was like, oh, he wasn't there. I'll step up. I'm the father or whatever. And it's like, I don't know about that. And so he isn't sure he can, though, because he's a convicted felon.
Yes.
And so
he's also motivated because his father... and his mother is moved by this, but she's also concerned because his father left them when he was 4 months. And I mean, it was in a very, his father went to the store and never came back. And that was not figurative at all. I hate you for laughing.
When she told the story out loud.
I was like, was it for cigarettes or milk? I just wanted to know for what did he say?
Pell Mells or Home Pride?
I'm going for some cigarettes and some strawberry shortcake ice creams. And the nigga never came back. And she's like, he wasn't ready to be a father, and so it's heartwarming to see Quaylen take such a interest in being a father to Maila. But that is a valid concern. I didn't know if how that adoption set would go. So she raises all her concerns. Well, what about if the attorney says you can't do it? Well, what about if the daddy is not down with it? Well, what about if this? What about if that? And he's like, I don't care about none of that. I'm going to make this happen. So they go to the attorney to go see what they got to do to make this happen. Go ahead.
Now, they go down to the attorney, and White Lady Esquire was like, okay, this could all be arranged, no tea, but it would be a lot easier if you were married. Number one, and number two, the felonies don't have any bearing on you as a father. I mean, the judge will look at it to see what the fuck you did.
Yeah.
But, as they should. However, this doesn't really have any legal bearing on you becoming a father. The only thing that would have to happen is the father would need to relinquish his rights as a parent, or there would have to be extenuating evidence to prove that this nigga is an unfit father and should have his rights be taken away.
Right.
Cool, fine, whatever. Next day, or a couple days later, Maila walks in the door.
Oh, baby.
And remember when I told you she had a Barbie moment?
Yep, she definitely did. And I was trying to... but Mama starts off dark, and then it just gets darker. She said, I'll pay you $20 to not let me go to this wedding. As she dipped her rice cakes in juice. Yeah. I said, is this...
That's how I know she meant business.
Mini rice cakes in juicy juice.
She said,
I'll pay $20. So, Shovel's trying to dig into it. She's like, okay, is this because of the kissing? I don't like that shit right there. I want y'all to do a TikTok dance and a handshake. I don't want to see nary a lip near a lip. Then they get into the conversation they should have had before they went to go see this fucking white woman Esquire. That's
white woman Esquire, yeah.
Shovel asked her, she said, how you feel about Quaylen being your daddy? And Maila is not with the shits.
No.
Not interested. Okay. Well, you call him that. I don't call him that no more. Which
She stopped calling him that after they broke up the first time.
You need to be investing more time into talking to this child instead of buying matching outfits with you and your ratchet ass mother and her gold lipstick.
Broke bestie.
You need to be more, because clearly this child has strong feelings, because she did not hesitate, stutter, stammer, nothing when asked a question.
No.
And when kids
Clear as
are
day.
that vocal and that firm in their concerns and how they feel, you need to be doing your job to make sure that you are investigating that a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Instead of trying to convince, but Quaylen be like, but you all went to Discovery Zone the other day. Yeah, and that was cool, girl. But, and if she's got this strong of feelings, ask deeper questions. Get to the root of why this child feels the way that she feels, because her feelings are valid and there is a reason.
Because Maila asks a very important question about when she asked about, like, well, what about me and, Quaylen getting married? She was like, I don't want to be a daddy because what happens when you die?
Yep.
And that's a valid concern that she had. I don't want this nigga to be my health proxy.
And then
if
this
something
nigga's
else
gonna go
happens
pick
to
another
you.
bitch to come in here and be my mom?
No, absolutely not. So
Does anybody else think about dying?
exactly. And she devolves the question like, okay, well, you're not giving me that proper answers, mommy, that I need to assure me that this is going to be an okay thing.
Because Shovel is more concerned with Quaylen's grown-ass feelings than she is about the child's.
Yes. However, I do think a little bit sunk in because
No, it did.
It
did.
The next scene, she instead of being honest with her nigga, she deflects and gaslights and causes chaos in the
Yes.
home.
Now,
And dissension.
Now, this is where I was like, okay, I think I understand what's happening here. Outside of not wanting to hurt his feelings, she didn't want to throw Maila under the bus either.
No.
But I also think it's important to have an honest conversation so he knows how firm this child feels, so that they can get to the root of what the issue is. Really her getting to the root of what the issue is, because I'm not putting nothing on him. I'm not saying, I personally agree with you. I think this is because of the breakup and, she felt the shakiness of this and she doesn't want to disappoint herself with reattaching.
I also think this is feelings of her grandmother being projected onto her.
That makes sense.
As somebody who was raised split between my mother and my grandmother, I definitely can attest to absorbing feelings that my grandmother may or may not have had for other people at a young age where I had no interaction with them.
That I didn't even think about that aspect of it. That makes sense. All I was thinking was, like, listen, I'm not putting nothing on him. I don't think nothing is going on. But I also feel like that we need to be getting more in depth in these conversations as to why this child feels the way that she feels. Instead of trying to dance around and protect grown people's feelings, we really need to get to the root of why this child feels the way that she feels. But I do think that she was trying to preserve his feelings and not throw her under the bus, but there was a different way that could have gone about. Because she definitely caused chaos in that conversation.
Yeah, and essentially what happened, they're cooking dinner, and they get to the conversation about calling the father to get this dog and pony show on the road about adoption. And she's like, well, I may or may not have changed my mind about all this. And so he's like, no, fuck it, I'll call him. Like, I'll do it. And she was like, you never met him. You don't even have a relationship dynamic with him, so you can calm the fuck down. This is like niggas who think that they could fight zoo animals. And she was like, oh yeah, I could fight a gorilla. No,
you can't.
No cat.
No,
no cat.
you
No,
can't.
you can't.
They
Gerald,
will rip your
down.
fucking hand off. Like, what is wrong
Go
with
back
you?
to IT. Anywho. Scram. You wear New Balances. So,
Screaming.
so she continues to deflect because she don't have the heart to tell him that her daughter don't want to be adopted by him.
She ain't fucking with him no more.
Yeah. And that was them.
Yeah. We can move on to we
have Sad Nomi, Eris and Cameron.
Let's do Cameron and Eris Harris. That's what I started calling her.
Okay.
Why they do that?
Eris.
No, hold on. No, why did they name that child Eris Harris? Sometimes niggas.
They have a lot of other things to answer for.
There's so many things for them to answer for that. You were talking about a blood atonement. I got two of them. I got two of them for you right here.
Yeah. Cause
I got the rope right here.
Okay. Hang that nigga now. So anywho, back to these N-words. So Eris is very, very pregnant.
Yeah.
Very, very pregnant. Like, to the point where she's just annoyed by everything.
And she don't need to be concerned with trying to move right now, but
no. That shit happens, So her and her auntie friend Priscilla,
Oh, her friend with the braces.
Yeah, the friend that raises her daughter.
Yeah.
They go look at a house. Now, I had to do TLC left eye math through this whole storyline. She does data entry.
Yeah.
He does customer service representative and something and ning, right? Mm-hmm. So he works for Amazon. Let's go with that.
And they get their WeTV checks.
Yes. And they're currently looking at a $400,000 home.
I don't feel like, I'm be honest with you, I don't know if homes are much cheaper than that these days.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering if it depending upon how her credit is, she might be a girl who keeps her credit together, and depending upon how that goes, the mortgage payment might come out to what rent would be to rent a house anyway, especially in Florida.
Depending upon how much you put down.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, but I'm just like, even when like renting and stuff, you think about like debt to income ratio. Like I was doing.
I too was trying to figure it out.
They don't. Together, I could assume they would not make $100,000 together. Just based off their salaries, this is not me being elitist. No. I was just kind of like, well, I'm curious, but because my head is like, how did we jump from an RV park to this $400,000 home? Or how did we jump from this townhome that we're renting to $400,000 in a home? Like I watch a lot of HGTV and all that good stuff.
Yeah, data entry clerks are in Florida make anywhere between $11 to $25 an hour.
Let's say she makes it at the high end. Let's say she even makes $30 an hour.
Okay, let's say she makes $30 an hour times 8 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Times.
Let's do 52 weeks.
Times 52.
8 hours times 5.
Wait, 8 hours a day times $30 an hour, 200, which would be $240 a day. So you do 240 times 5, which is $1,200 a week.
Times 52.
4. Oh, times 52. Oh yeah, 52 weeks. So that will put her at 62.4.
Okay. I can't imagine him making much more than her.
So maybe he makes like $30K.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the WeTV checks aren't that much. They have to be maxed at like 15 each, maybe 20.
I feel like when I first looked this up some years ago, they were making like $28,000 a season or something like that. It was like $20K a season. So maybe they've stacked some WeTV money.
Maybe.
She doesn't. They don't seem like they're struggling.
No.
So we'll just leave it there.
Yeah. So they go look at this house.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice, I guess. Meanwhile, Lena takes Cameron to a plant shop.
Yeah.
To get a plant to prove responsibility. Because she was like, if we can't take care of plants, how you expect to take care of a house, nigga? Like, whatever. 10-year-olds raising their parents. It's a thing. So he keeps telling Lena, like, you worried about all this adult stuff. Worry about kids stuff, like hopscotch and all this good stuff.
Now, I be laughing because he be saying stuff to Lena, and Lena gives him the nigga what look every time he opens his mouth.
Because she's the only one in her family that's an adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even say her mother is an adult because she made this conscious decision to marry this nigga who is a child. An entertaining child, but a child.
And she met him because she was a fan of his music.
Yeah.
Oh, did we listen to his new song?
Check a Bag. That's the one we play all the time.
Oh, that's the one. Okay. Yeah. So she's looking at homes, and he is at a video shoot for his new jam, Check a Bag.
Check a bag.
Check a bag. Check a bag. Check a bag. Check a bag. At the strip club. He rented out the strip club and one dancer. I'm sorry. Because it was a budget of $8,000, so he rented out the club and one dancer, so that he could shoot Check a Bag.
Listen, videographers are expensive. All y'all niggas, I pay my worth. I get it.
I get it. Hourly. And
Fiverr niggas got places to pay things for.
He has very high expectations of the return of the investment on what he puts into his music. He's like, oh well, of course I have to spend $8,000 on a video shoot because my social media is monetized. Like, what ads run? So niggas are gonna watch my video and I'm gonna make my money back. And I don't as a person who works on the internet and has been for a decade, I just don't see how you're seeing $8,000 return.
Yeah, that's brand deal territory, or you have to have. I don't know where you're making $8,000.
Let's see. Let's look at
even as you as a relative celebrity type, right? Because you're on television, so you should have some sort of a following. Like, I don't.
Let's look at OG Cam's. Let's see. It's not even about his follower count. I'm gonna look at what his views. OG Cam.
Actually, I could tell you social.
Oh, does he have a Let's see. Cameron. Love After Lockup. Instagram. OG Cam Bam. So sorry. Okay. Check a Bag.
When you got a motherfucker that's hating on you for no reason.
Okay. Nope. No. Where's Check a Bag, sir? I don't see it on here. Okay.
Maybe it's waiting for a premiere. Maybe we're gonna get a world premiere of Check a Bag.
Maybe, you know what? You might be right. Oh, the baby was born though.
Oh.
Because there's a picture of him. She's sleeping on his leg 3 days ago.
Oh.
Very cute. He's definitely drinking again. But yes. So
what's his name?
OG Cam with a K. OG Cam _ Bam.
On what apparatus?
Instagram.
Okay, so it's OGKAM
KAM underscore BAM.
BAM. Let's see what his standings on Social Blade is. Oh, damn. He wasn't even added to the database.
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay. Because I was on Social Blade, and so sometimes they, they put up like your standings of where you are on the internet. And that's so funny. He wasn't even listed on here.
Okay. Well, I don't know nothing about that.
It's fine.
But he's determined that he is going to see the return on his investment in this. So she pops up to the shoot at the club. You got a big booty stripper, and he's in his element. But there's nothing wild going on. Excuse me. And they get into it because she's in her fiefs and he's being belligerent.
Yeah. And, the next day, as an apology, which he doesn't apologize for anything.
No, he doesn't.
He just surprises her with a maternity shoot. He gives her like this pink peignoir situation, and he tells her that you look like a flower with a BBL. Which I chuckled because she did.
Yes.
She had Lena in this pink situations, pretty dress and stuff.
Chiffon something or other.
Yeah, taffeta of some sort. And they're all dressed in pink, and that was it for them.
It was a
and
sweet
apparently,
photo shoot. And, she's like, I'm still mad, but I don't know what she's mad at. She knows... she's pregnant and in her feelings, and that's okay.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Let's move on. We have 2 more to go.
Oh my God, Joy Nomi, Sad Nomi, and Kodak, whatever the fuck.
All right. Timu Payne. Shout out to the JSD universe for coining that term.
Oh, I was calling him Kodak Kingston because he looked like Sean Kingston in a Kodak something. But Timu Payne is incredible. Y'all are incredible.
Again, come down, join the cult of chaos in the Discord. It's in every description box wherever you're listening. It's always wild when people ask, like, where can I find the Discord? That's like, I know you don't listen because we tell you every week.
In the description box of the show.
In the description, yeah. First thing, it's a link tree. It's everywhere. Promise you. So let's talk about this sweaty, problematic couple.
Oh, God. Their whole house smell like Fritos.
And fry bread.
Yeah. So they finally make it back to New Mexico to the house. I want to breeze past you so fast, and I'm having a hard time.
This is hour 3 of recording, and so I'm tired now.
You know what their house smells like? Breakfast. But like all the time.
Well, yeah, because they got a little kid. And so, like, when kids pee, it smells like syrup.
Yeah, exactly. It's like in the morning when your pee smell like Cheerios. So they finally make it back to the house, and he meets little Sway Lee for the first time.
Boy, just running in talking about daddy!
And, my titties chafed. Her sister has boundaries. I'm not hugging you yet, nigga. We got to build. We've got to build.
I'm not hugging that sweaty nigga either.
And his famous last words in that episode were, "Daddy's here for good, baby." Or her famous last words. So, next episode.
She consistently asks horrible questions. Like, do you feel like she asks her sister, like, do you feel any better now that he's here? Don't ask me that shit.
Why would I?
Why would I? If anything, I have more concerns.
Yeah, because now he's in front of me and I don't like. So, her brother Micah comes over because they're going on a date night and he wants to meet him and express his concern for the relationship. And Sway And, you know, are you going to be present for my nephew? Because I don't like this in and out shit. So he meets him. Her brother's very, very calming, but it's also like nobody
He
is
looks
with this
just
shit.
like her.
Yeah, he does. Nobody is here for this relationship. Like nobody. So they go to date night at the sushi spot. I think this is his first time eating sushi, maybe. So he's very excited about it. She makes it a point of letting us know that she's paying for everything because he doesn't have a job yet. We know.
He babysits his stepson.
Yeah.
Or his girlfriend's son, because let's call it what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. His sister, quote unquote, because I don't know if that's the truth, is paying for him a ticket so he can come back home and visit his family. And he tells her this, and she feels away because she doesn't feel like they were considered as a family. Lil Sway Lee hasn't met his daddy's side of the family yet. And he gets pissed off, and they get into an argument, and he goes to get some air, aka going outside to call another white woman that he likes to do. So it's the next morning, and apparently they got into it last night after all of that. And she found out he was still talking to his bestie. And so what does he do? He goes outside and calls another white woman best friend, quote unquote, to vent. So he's telling the best friend, oh, I'm considering going back home. This nigga already has a ticket and a date. And they have an argument because they're supposed to go meet her cousins today. So he goes back inside and they get into an argument. They continue the argument. And she starts throwing, you know, what she does and what she's done for him around. And he doesn't like that. And essentially this all just boils down to she doesn't trust him, but she wants to be loved. What?
This goes back to what we said about her a long time ago.
Nope, I'm not.
I'm not repeating it, but
I said she wants to be loved.
yeah. Who doesn't? So that's all I'll say about that. So they meet her cousin sisters.
Yeah.
And they have a picnic in the park. I am interested, but I'm not that interested in having this conversation now about how they were raised Christian and Navajo at the same time.
Yeah.
Because that's a little...
Because I don't like colonialism and white supremacy.
Yeah, that's a little weird. So, you know, all her cousin sisters and them confront him about pictures of other women that he has kept and all this good stuff. Oh. And he says the most... Damn, I can't even say this on Patreon.
Oh, I said this. We're not on Patreon. This is the main show.
Yeah.
I said this is the most nigga ass logic that I have ever heard.
I kept those pictures to show Joy that I chose her out of all these ladies. What? He really thinks he's smooth on the mic. Like, he can, like, talk himself out of anything. He is awful. The problem is, though, that she's dumb enough to believe all of this stuff. Because of her low self-esteem and insecurity.
Because he's been able to charm her because her self-esteem is in hell, he thinks that he's a charming nigga. Because as soon as he said that, all the sister friends, whose, by the way, names are Crystal, Michelle, and Keisha. I just want y'all to know that.
Yeah.
That's
important. In my notes too. And I was like, I'm. This is where the Christianity came out, I guess.
I said, Keisha. But as soon as he said
it was the one with the eyeshadow too, which was interesting.
Yes, it wasn't even the one I thought would be Keisha. She was Crystal. So
yeah.
So
well, no, that tracked too.
It did, yeah. But Keisha would attract more for her. Anyway, he says that nigga ass bullshit to them, and they all go, "Oh no, absolutely the fuck not, nigga! Like what?" she takes Lil Sway Lee to the bathroom, and he's like, well, I love her, and that's it's fine. Like, we're a solid family, and so when I go to St. Louis tomorrow, it's not gonna be no problem.
And she next day he packs up and he's leaving, and she's asking stupid questions like, so you're gonna come back, right?
And they get into it as they're packing his stuff up. And she tells him, if I find out that you've been cheating on me, because I know you going out there and you probably trying to plan to see a bitch. But if I find anything,
yes.
which she is already, I feel like she goes through his phone. Maybe she doesn't. She seemed like the type to go through his phone, but she hasn't said anything about finding anything in his phone. So that's why. But he's also the type of nigga to sleep with his phone under his nuts.
I was going to say, like, I know he sleeps with the phone underneath his titty.
Yeah, So I seen this video of this crackhead.
I'm about to say, did you see that video of Big Boy where he was telling the story about how he hid the guns underneath the flap folds of his stomach?
No.
When we get to Kurt.
But I did see a video of this crackhead talking to this nigga, and she was like, it was like, big stomach, little legs. And she was like, all this is titties. She's like, you push it up, it's just titties. She's like, I bet your bitch can't do this. And she gets on this car and busts this weird split. And the nigga's like, get off my damn car.
Get off my car.
I need to see the video. It is a nigga video. But it's like, this is all titties. This is all. Anyway.
Let's take one final break, and we'll be back with our last couple. Hit it, Claude. And we're back. We are talking about Life After Lockup, a whole roundup, a whole month's worth. That's free for everywhere. Please watch it. Subscribe to us on Patreon for free and pay for a subscription if you too would like to see a whole bunch of unlocked amazing posts, ranging from Watching the Hills to Anne of Green Gables and a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Last couple. Taylor and Chance. Glamorous women of wrestling. And
White
boys look red in the sunlight.
Oh, my God.
So, he's out on a joyride. Last time we chatted, he was out trying to get a party limo.
From 1994.
From 1994. That limo that they had in Encino Man.
Mm-hmm.
And they... while he's out for a joyride, there was a white man that pulled up to his crib and tried to push up on his missus and tag team partner. He was like, where my money at? Remember my ducats? I'll be back if your nigga ain't here. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Chance is a horrible liar.
Yeah.
And even more horrible gaslighter, because Taylor calls him and was like, there's this man that keeps she tells him the rundown of what happened. And he was like, well, they're probably not, it may not even be it for me. Like, they're not looking for me. It was, nigga. And all of a sudden he was like, is this guy named Boba? And I owe, Baba.
No, it's Boba now.
Boba. I don't have my glasses on, so
I don't care. Boba is great.
Yeah. And it's that guy he owes $1,000 to.
Now, this nigga did not even ask her first, are the kids okay? Are you okay? He asked her eventually.
Do you think that he cares about any of their well-being?
No.
He served them children scalding hot coffee on the day he went to propose to that lady.
This is true.
And they suffered third-degree burns in this little carriage thing.
The youngest one was like, my hair.
Okay, now they gotta go through fucking physical therapy because this negligent nigga decided to give these 6-year-olds coffee.
Hot coffee.
Hot McDonald's fucking coffee. God, I hate him so much.
Oh my, no, I
not
hate him.
I have not hated a white man that I did not know this long.
Because
in
then
a
he
very
tells
long
her,
time.
he finally comes home and he's like, all right, yeah, it's this nigga, da da da, like you just said. And then he's like, but until you marry me, you don't need to be all up in my business anyway.
The way I would have chopped his dick off. What do you mean?
I don't
We had a fucking baby together.
I don't marry you because of this shit.
In spite of.
It is because this shit happens. So next episode, Bobby is going wedding dress shopping because she's getting married to a black man named
Scott?
Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. So they go wedding dress shopping and bridesmaids dress shopping, and they have a sit down in the dresses, and it gets emotional because Taylor admits, and it's not a hater emotion. It's more like, this makes me sad because A, I wish you were there when I was here to do it. B, it brings me back to a year ago when I was wedding dress shopping and how good I felt, and now I don't feel good like that anymore. And C, I hate this nigga, but I'm trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And they have a really sweet relationship. I have to say, those two sisters, they have a really sweet relationship and a very deep connection. So Bobby's concerned about her prolonging the ending of this relationship because she's like, I don't see this turning out well. I don't see this nigga getting better. And I feel like the longer she prolongs it, the more her feelings are going to be involved, and she's going to be even more hurt. But I'll be here for my sister. Meanwhile, this nigga has borrowed money from his little troll limo friend, the one who he was buying that 1994 limo from in the beginning, who sounds...
Mr. from Wayne's World.
Oh, he sounds just like a troll at the end of a bridge.
Which I laughed when Boba apparently laughed and was like, this ain't no meet and greet.
Boba. That name.
Boba Babo.
I don't care.
Damn.
Boba is... Noah's obsessed with Boba Tea, and when you called him that, that's it.
I would have called him Wigger Jim, but I know we have advertisements. We can still call him
Yeah,
that.
we call him that. So this nigga borrowed $1,000 because that's how much he owes him. Like, they acting up. Lindsay owes $20K. Okay, we both was like,
no, they like $1,000 on Grove Street, like doing a whole bunch of shit, like just for like $1,000, like.
And the $1,000 includes interest, so it wasn't even $1,000 he owed him.
No, I bet you it was a clean $750.
What? I thought it was $500. So him and his little troll friend go to the bar to meet Boba, and give him the money. And also he has his little troll friend there because he is scared bitchless. I mean, when I tell you Papa did everything but pee in his pants before Wigger Jim got there.
Listen, he was shaking. There's a snake in my boots.
He was
like,
this nigga was on the verge of tears. He was like, I'm a man, but I'm scared.
He was shook.
And I guess you can still smoke inside establishments in Missouri.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
I can't imagine.
You're right.
A place in Missouri where you couldn't smoke indoors. Does that make sense?
No, it's true. The next time I go to Missouri, I'm gonna go into a restaurant and say, "Smoking section, please." And see what
Just a sliding little partition. You get seated faster. I can tell you that.
You do get seated faster if you ask for the smoking section. I will.
I could breathe through some formaldehyde if I could get seated quicker.
What? First of all, soon I won't be able to smell this over the waft of my shrimp. So it's fine.
Piriana.
Kiddies, there used to be smoking sections in restaurants. I feel like I've told you that, but I'm here to tell you again. Yeah. So Wigger Jim gets there and he's ready to stand on business. Like you said, this ain't no meet and greet. Chance thought he was about to just hand him this money, apologize, say I love you, bro, and keep it pushing. And Boba was like, step outside with me real quick.
Wigger Jim had an axe to grind.
And Chance gets up and he pees a little bit as he does. And Boba gets in his face. I mean, gets in his shit. And listen, whether this is real or not, okay, this is our favorite novella. Like, we know things happen for production. But Boba is pissed off at the camera crew. He said, this ain't Disney World, motherfuckers. You need to get on somewhere with all
Get out of my face. On Grove Street. On Grove Street.
Grove Street. He's like, I strap my 10 toes on and I stand up every day.
Exactly. And that's on Grove Street, nigga. Like, what are you doing, white man?
I was looking for a swastika tattoo in all of those sleeves that both of them had.
I honestly was looking for one too.
Yeah, I was. I said, this man was like, definitely in higher learning. Like, for certain.
Absolutely. American History X.
But the way that Boba got in his face was a foreshadowing. Because, like, when you watch wrestling, there's a fine line between the wrestling and foreplay. You know what I'm saying? There's a way that they get intimate with one another.
They do. They do.
They get intimate. I mean, it just is what it is.
They do.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the business.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so, he goes home. He tells Taylor about everything that happened. He apologizes. And then he tries to get her to invest in that limo while he got his shoes off in it. I know it stinks. She lets him know. It takes her on a date to a burger spot in that 1994 limo. And she proceeds
Chuck a burger.
And
it was supposed to be a date night. I thought it was going to be some fancy, we're going to at least Cheddar's.
No, he was trying to get her
Fuddruckers
to see what it was like to ride in this limo. This was not a date night at all. And she tells him this is his last chance to get his shit together. And then we get the mess.
Yeah, buddy.
So Mama texts production to let them know that she kicked him out. She found 170-something text messages in a day on the call log between him and a number where everything had been deleted. And so she calls said number to find out the woman that he has been chatting with. Meanwhile, he is on the other side of things, telling us how she has created multiple profiles to catfish him so that she can catch him and kick him out because she's been wanting to break up anyway and she's just trying to find a reason. This lady has 4 kids. She don't have time to fucking create profile. And she makes those knockoff Van Gogh tables. So,
which, by the way, I saw no mask or any type of breathing type of apparatus. So I know none of the kids in the house can read.
We knew that.
Everybody's just brain fried from epoxy.
So on the other side of things, he's telling us about this her catfishing and creating profiles, and this is all Taylor. So I went with it. I kept texting her because I knew it was Taylor. There's no fucking way we find out. Oh, also, he tells production, he's like, I threw my phone and she said she wanted my phone, fine. So I threw it in the bathroom and I left because I don't have time for the drama. He did not throw his phone in the bathroom. He threw his phone in the toilet. Mm-hmm. And she shows us his phone in the toilet. And the reason you know what? You take it away.
Yeah. The reason why he put in the toilet, because he has something to hide. Mm-hmm. of course, he denies everything, and you know, she eventually calls this number, and she recognizes the number, and it's a small town, Eldsbury, Missouri, and it's the number to one of the biggest hoes in town.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest hoe in town is a dude.
Yeah.
So she doesn't necessarily have proof, but she was talking to the dude via text messages, and he wasn't necessarily confirming, but he wasn't denying either.
No, but I was laughing at those responses. He was like, "LOL, girl, what's this got to do with me?"
Yeah.
Well, why you with him then, girl, if you texted me?
Exactly.
And listen.
And
go ahead.
Because my note says, "Oh, he gay, wait." And then my note says, he stole her laptop.
Oh, yes.
That's how I know he gay. Gay steal.
I'll let you say that.
I'll wait for the gays in the comments to prove me wrong.
I didn't have an objection. I just said.
Press 1 if you agree.
He's gonna be like 1.
Let me tell you, I forgot over the break what we said. Press 1, 2. So we kept getting emails on Patreon about 1. I was like, what does this mean?
I don't remember anything we say.
I don't remember that. I was like, we recorded that like 6 weeks ago. I don't remember anything.
But okay, I told you one of my mother's first friends that I knew was actively
out and homosexual.
Yeah. He ended up going to jail for credit card fraud. So I don't have
Like Rick Ross said, credit card schemes. That's for the F words. He might be a little homophobic, but you know, he worked in the prison system. He know.
So, this is not about. Again, a breeze past. I'm trying to. This is not about Chance fucking a nigga.
No.
This is about the fact that Chance has never disclosed to her that those are his proclivities, as they are in a committed relationship with one another.
Yes. People always want to talk about, and then she says the ultimate like hetero girl, bi guy thing. Now I have to compete with men too. I'm like, girl, first of all, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't have to compete.
You have to compete with anybody.
Yeah, but whatever. But I also, I don't want to yuck nobody's yum, but the hoe, I hope you're getting paid.
I hope you're using protection.
I would not like. No.
I wouldn't let Chance touch me with a 10-foot
pole.
No, not a yardstick, nigga. Like there ain't no fucking way. That nigga looks like he smells like the inside of a work truck.
He smells like if I were to look up chitterlings, like that's what I would think he would like smell like, you know?
He smells like breakfast.
He gives inside.
Breakfast stinks when it's not like in the after like in the middle of the day when shit smells like breakfast. It stinks.
Mm-hmm. It does. It does.
Like why you smell wet and sweet? Like
yeah, gross. It's time for us to go home.
Oh yeah, we've got to go. We have got to go. We've got to.
It's been amazing coming back this week. Again, tell a friend where we at and where we be. Sign up for the